Alex Caruso, though some this morning will try to convince you otherwise. Trust me, not the case. All right, let's head to New England now, where Cam Newton is the talk of the town, and why not? The Patriots quarterback has either met or far exceeded most expectations so far this season. So he joined Boston radio station WEEI yesterday, finally addressing the elephant in the room. When asked about a contract extension in New England, listen to how he answered the question.
But you must understand that is literally the last of my worries. Money at this particular point in my career is not important, right? And let's be honest. Like I've made money, but for everything that I play this game for, I haven't received yet, and that's why I'm playing. So it's not about money; it's about respect.
All right, Brandon, I'm going to ask you as a former player to read between the lines here. Tell us what your reaction was to the way Cam Newton answered this question. What was he really saying here?
It's like reading the Bible, right? Some people go to a particular verse and they make it mean what they want it to mean in that moment, but you got to read the verse before, you got to read the verse after. So the first thing I did, Jenna, was I went and I read the entire transcript of his interview. And when you look closely, it's just Cam being creative. Because as a professional athlete, you know how things play out in the media when it comes to contract talks. It just doesn't end well for the player. You know, if a team cuts a player before their contract's up, the player just wasn't good. If the player tries to go back to the table before, or he asks for more money, this is a player being greedy. So as a savvy veteran, you know how to use your words carefully in the media. Because a lot of times you hear guys say, well, you know what, my agent's going to take care of that, or it's going to work itself out. But internally, we know what we want. Now, I will say this. Cam Newton, there's validity behind what he's saying as far as he made money, and right now he's focused on other things. I agree. But he also said that he wants respect and wants to be valued. So when you hear that, you got to think like, okay, well, how does a team show you that they value you and they respect you? It's by paying you what you're worth. Now, do I think he'll give the Patriots a team-friendly deal? Yes. But he's definitely going to ask for more money because that's just the way it is. This is Cam Newton being creative with his words in the media.
Brandon, let me ask you a question real quick before I give my take on this. Now, because I'm not going to air out to the audience what your career earnings were, but it was a good amount of money. It's Googleable, and I've seen your house in South Florida with what appears to be 60-foot ceilings, so it seems like you've done well. So my question is this. Even after you'd made 90% of that money, when you got a contract offer, it still mattered what the money was, right? Because it wasn't just, am I going to run out of money? It was, how much do you value me in comparison to how much other teams value me, correct?
Yeah, 100%. I do think Cam is going for legacy play here. But at the end of the day, it reminds me of my time going from the Jets to the Giants. And that was the first time in my career where I sat down with my agent and I said, you know what? Money is not the #1 priority. You know, I really, I'm at a point in my career where, I want to make the playoffs. I want to win a Super Bowl. So I looked at the Giants and I said, you know what? This is an opportunity for me to go to the #2 receiver opposite of Odell Beckham Jr. I have a championship quarterback in Eli. I haven't had that in my career. And then that year, the defense was lights out. So I said, you know what? Tell the Jets to keep their $10 million, and I'll take the 7 from the Giants because I'm going to get much more than what I'll get from the Jets. So I know it just doesn't play well, right? When you talk about those numbers. See, this is it playing out in real time.
100%. Different stratospheres.
100%. It's an uncomfortable. But here's the thing, Wilds. It's an uncomfortable conversation for a professional athlete to talk about those type of numbers in the media. So Cam Newton's going to come out and say, I want $40 million. I want $42 million. So this is a perfect example of how uncomfortable it is for us to talk about money. That was good. I see how you set me up too, Nick.
No, he set you up kindly. Like, I'm not going to talk about it. Can you get into specifics? And our poor producer, Sam Pepper, who is a Jets fan, when you're like, listen, I wouldn't go for $3 million in the same stadium. I'm still not signing with the Jets. Like, that's how bad the Jets are. So we talk about
I love
legacy.
the Jets. That's my favorite team.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, so here's $3 million. You threw it in the garbage, and they're your favorite team. Okay, sure, love them. Are we talking about like chances to win the Super Bowl? So Jeff Howell from The Athletic was like, "Hey, how about this for a deal? 3 years, $90 million. That seems okay. It's way more than the bargain basement deal he's on. It's not quite at the young quarterbacks, Mahomes and Deshaun level. It seems team friendly because I think he's got to get this ring." Nick, when you look at quarterbacks who have won the MVP, there's really 3 categories. And Lamar's got one all to himself. Lamar probably will win one, so let's put Lamar over there. Yep. And then you've got legends, MVPs who have won one. Favre, Mahomes. Oh, God, I almost called Mahomes a legend. We're going to ruin the show. Sorry.
Yeah,
Favre, Rodgers, Brady, Manning, Steve Young.
Yep.
Yeah, Brady, of course. And then you got this other kind of weird part in the middle. It's like Rich Gannon, Matt Ryan, and Cam. And I think Cam's looking at it, and like Brandon, it's like you. It's like, I don't want to be in this category. I'd rather be over with the legends. Yeah. And if that costs me a little bit of money, so be it. And New England is the place to be, Nick.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jenna.
I'm assuming since we're having this conversation, we all agree that Cam deserves an extension already, that the 2 games that he's played was enough that we all think the Patriots will be offering?
No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it yet. I don't think it's smart for either side. Listen, I think anyone that doubted if Cam could still play is being proven to be a doofus. So throw that aside. But if you doubted if Cam is going to be able to play 16 games, that is a fair question. And it is also a fair question about whether or not the Patriots want to allocate $30 to $40 million for their quarterback. So while Cam can say the money means nothing to me and he's made $122 million in his career, his next contract on the open market would be more than $122 million just for the next deal, Brandon, if he gets through this season healthy. Now, it does matter what's important to him, but we also, I feel like, for Cam to maximize his dollars if he wants to, needs to get closer to free agency. And the Patriots, if they want to protect themselves over Cam suffering another injury, needs to see him play more than 8 quarters with the team, Brandon.
100%. It's way too early, but I will say this quickly. Legacy's in play for a lot of people in this organization. Cam being one, and then the other being Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is 4 or 5 seasons away from being the all-time winningest coach in the National Football League. You don't think that he's thinking about, oh, Cam Newton can get me there? So yes, it is a smart move for both sides, but it's way too early.
All right, well, what's the one thing Cam doesn't have there in New England? A Gronk. Rob Gronkowski, though, still trying to find his way down in Tampa. Is his quiet start to the season a cause for concern? To be discussed next. First things first.
Is having a Gronk a good thing in 2020?